Season 3, Episode 1 just dropped. And if you watched it, you know, Jace is dead. Vermax is at the bottom of the Gullet. Corlys Velaryon went overboard on his own ship. Tyland Lannister is somewhere in the sea. And Rhaenyra, who was locked in her own room while all of this happened, just lost her firstborn son. Let's talk about what the show changed from the book, and also what could we expect in Episode 2. Before we get into predictions, let's talk about what the show did differently from the book Fire and Blood. And if you want the full breakdown of the Battle of the Gullet itself, the strategy, the history, all of it, I covered that in depth in my last video, link in the description. First of all, fuck you. And fuck you. Needed to get it out. Okay. Things the show actually kept from the book. Jace dies. Vermax dies. Those were non-negotiable. The only slight difference was that in the book, Vermax crashes into a burning Triarchy galley. In the show, he goes straight into the water, but the outcome is the same. Jace swims to the surface, same as in the book. He finds a wooden plank and holds onto it, same as in the book. And then arrows find him, same as in the book. The blockade holds. Despite everything, the Velaryon fleet wins. Corlys wins. High Tide gets attacked and burned. Driftmark takes the hit. The Triarchy does real, lasting damage to House Velaryon even in defeat. Outside of the Battle of the Gullet, not much stayed the same. The show is doing its own thing, which is good, of course. The changes aren't drastic enough to completely abandon the source material, but they're just enough that even book readers can't sit back and predict exactly what's coming next, which keeps it interesting for everyone. Now onto the changes. The biggest change is the Dragonseeds weren't at the Gullet. If you don't know, these guys are the Dragonseeds. In Fire and Blood, Jace brings 5 dragons into that battle. In the show, however, Rhaenyra thinks Aemond is flying to Harrenhal, so she keeps the Dragonseeds as an ambush force. Smart strategically. But it means Jace goes into that battle massively undermanned compared to the book. Another slight change. In the show, Triarchy burns High Tide. In the books, they also burn the Spice Town. Next big change. Instead of Nettles on Sheepstealer, we get Rhaena. And this is the change that indirectly kills Jace. In the book, Sheepstealer had an experienced rider who could control him. Rhaena can't. Sheepstealer starts attacking the Velaryon fleet. Jace tries to intervene without realizing who the rider is, flies too low, and that's it. Now this might sound a bit chaotic if you don't know who Nettles is. Nettles is a character from the book who doesn't appear in the show at all. She's been completely cut. She's a young, low-born girl from Dragonstone, probably a Dragonseed, who tamed Sheepstealer, not through Valyrian blood and dominance like most dragon riders, but by showing up every single morning with a freshly slaughtered sheep until the dragons started accepting her. Just patience and dead sheep, basically. Nettles being cut is also significant beyond just the battle itself. Because in the book, Nettles rides with Daemon in the Riverlands, and rumors reach Rhaenyra that the two of them have become very close. Then there's the young princes. In the book, the Battle of the Gullet actually starts because the Triarchy intercepts a ship carrying Rhaenyra's 2 youngest sons, Aegon the Younger and Viserys, on their way to Pentos. Aegon escapes on his barely grown dragon Stormcloud, who dies getting him home. Viserys gets captured, sold into slavery, and doesn't come home for years. The show hasn't touched any of this, which means either it's coming later in a different form, or Viserys' entire arc gets quietly rewritten. And that matters because Viserys eventually becomes Viserys II, one of the greatest kings Westeros ever had. Sharako Lohar. In the book, she survives the Gullet entirely. In the show, she is killed. And Tyland Lannister. In the book, he's not even at the Gullet. He stays in King's Landing, and when Rhaenyra takes the city, he's captured, blinded, and gelded. Brutal, but he survives, and later becomes one of Aegon II's most important advisors. The show throws him overboard at the Gullet. Whether he survived or not is still unclear, but I think he will survive though. Finally, how Jace ends up in the battle at all. In the book, Jace is actively involved in the planning and strategy. In the show, when Rhaenyra prepares to fly out herself, Jace locks his own mother in her chambers and takes her place. His death feels like a sacrifice. The show Jace is different from the book Jace. Book Jace is a strategist. Show Jace is a son trying to protect his mother. Both work. They're just different. Okay, now what can we expect in episode 2? Just a slight spoiler alert here. This might or might not happen in episode 2 or in the rest of the show. This is just what happens in the book, and some theories. First, Corlys. He went overboard on his own ship. We don't know if he made it out. In the book, Corlys never actually fights in the battle. He surveys the wreckage afterward and delivers that line. If this is what victory costs, he hopes never to win another. The show put him in the middle of the fighting, sword in hand, and then threw him into the sea. My read? He survives, but he's going to be broken. And a broken Corlys is more dangerous to Rhaenyra than a dead one, because a broken Corlys starts making decisions driven by grief, not strategy. He's lost Spicetown. He's lost High Tide. The sea snake built his entire life around legacy and the sea just took everything from him. Second, Rhaenyra. She was locked in her own room while her son flew into that battle and died. She didn't get to say goodbye. When she finds out what happened, that scene could be one of the hardest things this show has ever done. But here's what matters for episode 2 specifically. Before the Gullet, Alicent had handed Rhaenyra the keys to the kingdom. A peaceful surrender. The gates of King's Landing were supposed to open without a single drop of blood spilled. It was a desperate, horrific pact built on a single, fragile premise: that Rhaenyra would take the throne, spare the innocent, take Aegon's head, and finally end the war. But Jace's death changes the math of the entire war. Rhaenyra no longer cares about a clean victory or a neat timeline. The grief has hardened her. Does she still fly to King's Landing to execute the careful, quiet coup she and Alicent whispered about in the dark? Or does she arrive as the monster the Greens always claimed she was? Third, the Dragonseeds. Hugh, Ulf, Adam. They sat out the Gullet. The battle is over, the prince is dead, and these untested Dragonseeds are looking at a war that just lost its heir. Jace didn't trust them, and that lack of trust cost him his life. Now Rhaenyra has no choice but to unleash them. Hugh Hammer is a blacksmith. A few weeks ago, his entire world was a hammer, iron, and soot. Now he's sitting on Vermithor, a dragon over a century old, one of the largest alive, and he just realized that the royal family is fragile. They bleed, they make mistakes, and they die just like commoners. That realization does something to a man. It breeds something far more dangerous than grief. Ambition. Watch Hugh in episode 2. Watch how he carries himself around the other Dragonseeds, around the lords, around anyone with a title. Because he realizes he isn't just a weapon anymore. He holds the balance of power in Westeros. The Gullet didn't just end Jace's story. It began Hugh's. Fourth, Hugh isn't the only wildcard Rhaenyra has to worry about. There is a person in King's Landing who in the books is responsible for the extinction of dragons. He is known as the Shepherd, a crazed, one-armed street preacher. While the Highborn are busy tearing each other apart in the skies, this guy builds his power on the ground by weaponizing the starving, terrified small folk. He convinces the city that the dragons are demons born of Valyrian sin, and he unleashes a massive, bloodthirsty riot. In the books, this all boils over into the storming of the Dragon Pit, where an angry mob of thousands of commoners marches right into the stables to slaughter the dragons. So as we head into episode 2, you know what to watch for. If you want to see the full, brutal breakdown of how the Battle of the Gullet went down in the books, including the parts the show completely changed, click right here. Or, if you want to take a break from Westeros entirely, you can step into a different world and watch these stories from Middle-earth.